Number 2. This one qualified at Newmarket and Fergus, first show of the year. And this one bred in County Clare. By Chalice HZZ. And down with this one is Rushing Lux. Chalice HZZ by Chilano. And down with this one, Rushing Lux, as the name would be a little bit of a giveaway by Lux Z, going back to Big Syncope. So this is number 2, this filly. By Chalice HZZ, out of the Lux Z and Big Syncope Dam. Next we have number 14. 14, the second of our 3-year-olds here. Now being scrutinised by Rosemary Connors and Chris Gordon. Number 14 qualified at Ballymoney Show. And this one is by Centre Stage, a homebred. Centre Stage going back to Rankin Valentino. And the dam of this one is Keith Queen Bee by the thoroughbred Stallion Munter. And going back to King's Master and back to Ricardo Z. So number 14 qualified at Ballymoney. This one by Centre Stage and out from Munter, King's Master Dam. Qualified recently at Charleville Show. This one, another homebred, is by Jack the Robin. Jack the Robin, the thoroughbred Stallion. Stood here originally in County Wexford with the Lambert family. Then moved to Belgium and was at the start of this year when Schutten's retired from breeding, was bought by a group of 4 stake studs in Germany. So Jack the Robin gone from Wexford, now in Germany. Down at this one, the Safford Velvet is by the Holsteiner Stallion Ars of Envy of the Colin Diamond Dam. Number 26. For qualified at Gorey. Gorey Adamstown last Saturday, and of course Bannow Rathangan here today. The 3 agricultural shows in the model county. And the Gorey representative is by Rock and Roll Tribute, Belgian bred Stallion. Going back to Diamante Semele. And the dam of this one is by OBOS Quality. OBOS Quality, who had MGH Grafton Street on the Japanese bronze medal team at the Paris Olympics last year. Prolific event sire. And then going further back, we see the thoroughbred Stallion Salusiva by Salist. Of course, Salist also the sire of Colourfield, another very useful eventing sire. So Salusiva, and then one more generation back to Triggerero. This gelding qualified at the Liver Show. It's by the Sport Horse Stallion Imperial Heights. Imperial Heights, standing up in County Monaghan. This one by Master Imp, Imperial Heights Dam by the Great Clover Hill. So a traditional combination there of Master Imp and Clover Hill. Now on his dam side we see Sir Shutterfly. Sir Shutterfly going back to Silvio. And then we see 2 more well-known stallions in Diamond Roller by Cavalier Royale. And then the 3rd dam by the Belgian bred Don Juan de la Bouverie, that stood alongside Cavalier Royale at John Hughes' Williamstown stud. So this is number 15, this one by Imperial Heights, going back to Sir Shutterfly, Diamond Roller and Don Juan de la Bouverie. Oh, now we have number 28. Number 28 qualified at Ballyfoyle Show. That's another filly. Quite a number of fillies in the top end of the lineup so far, but of course this is our preliminary lineup. This one is by the Sport Horse Stallion Cavalier Land. Cavalier Land by Cavalier Royale out of an Imperious Dam. And dam of this one, Clogher Brody Yester. It's Garib, again, who would need little introduction to Wexford breeders. So the J-Bow got a number of 5-star adventures, including Coolio, who went to the London Olympics. And then one step behind is the great Stan the Man. Stan the Man, the most prolific sire of Olympic event horses, medalist horses, even better, including Sheer Low, Sheer H2O, and of course the phenomenal Le Bayastic Sam FB Bay. Michael Young's horse, who won back-to-back individual gold at both the London and Rio Olympics. So this is number 28, this one by Cavalier Land, out of Agree and Stand the Man Dam. Next we have number 16. Number 16 qualified at the Liver Show. This great gelding is by Corporal BDL. Corporal BDL by Cardento. Cardento on the German team silver medal team at Athens with Peter Eriksson. Of course, Cardento also the sire of Kilkenny, who jumped on the Irish team at Tokyo. The dam of this one is Kilbracken Cornet Queen. She's by Orestes, going back to Cornet of Leinster. This is homebred by Corporal BDL out of an Orestes, Cornet of Leinster dam. And next we have number 18. Number 18 qualified at Clonakilty Show. And this one, the second that we've seen here in our lineup, by Jack the Robin. The name of this one is by Big Syncope. And again, the second time that we've seen Big Syncope appearing in the dam line of our preliminary lineup. Big Syncope, who stood with Stevie Russell at Atlantic Stud down in Kilkee. And the grand dam of this one is by the Anglo-Arabian stallion Philippe de Champay. So number 18 by Jack the Robin out of Big Syncope, Philippe de Champay dam. Now we see number 19. 19 qualified at Cork Summer Show. This gelding is by the thoroughbred stallion Point Elise. Point Elise by Giant's Causeway. And down with this one is Killight's Carmella. Killight's Carmella is by another Sligo stud stallion in Golden Master. Golden Master, the only thoroughbred stallion son of the great Master in. And then going back one more generation to Clover Hill. So number 19 in fact ticks all the boxes for a TIH, or traditional Irish horse, by thoroughbred out of Sport Horse Mare by Golden Master out of Clover Hill. So here again in the Bannow final we're seeing quite a representation of different bloodlines right across Europe, seen here in our finalists here at Killag. The second of two here this afternoon in Bannow, the qualified at Gorey Show. This one is by the thoroughbred stallion Zebediah. Zebediah by Zebedee, going back to Indian Ridge. The Floating Valley, whose dam is by Brookfield Floating Lux. Brookfield Floating Lux by Luxed at the Cavalier Royale Dam. And then on his dam side he goes back to Carrick Diamond Lad. And back one more generation to Clover Valley. So this is number 23. This one by the thoroughbred stallion Zebediah out of Brookfield, Floating Lux, Carrick Diamond Lad and Clover Valley Dam. So 10 more left in this preliminary lineup. Starting here with number 22. This gelding is by for Kinmar Hero Z. It's by Marcus Ealing's double Olympic horse for pleasure. The name of this one, HHS Flow Echo. It's by Clover Echo. Clover Echo by Clover Hill out of Blue Cliff Dam. And then further back in his pedigree, we see the thoroughbred stallion Balboa, himself a 5-bold lad. One more generation back to King of Diamonds. So this is number 22. By the For Pleasure stallion for Kinmar Hero Z. Out for Clover Echo, Balboa, and King of Diamonds Dam. This one qualified at Athlone Show. Now we have the second of our Charleville representatives. This is number 27 in your catalogue. This one by the thoroughbred stallion Munter. Munter going back to Lowman. But then this one is Brookfield Royale. So again we see more of the Cavalier Royale. Bloodline is coming in here into this preliminary lineup. We now have just 8 left to go, as our judges Chris Gordon and Rosemary Connors assess what is a pretty good All-Ireland final. So maybe already you've picked your champion, ladies and gentlemen. Still a few more to look at. Underlying the second of our Rathagan Show finalists. This one qualified at the Kilkenny show. This one is by the thoroughbred stallion Rosier. Rosier by High Chaparral, the 2002 Epsom Derby and Breeders' Cup winner. The dam of this one is Lady Delane, and she's by the Seacrest son, Cronin Wood, going back to Home Rule, and back then to the thoroughbred stallion Golden Bash. So again, another the TIH or traditional Irish horse examples that we're seeing here in this 3-year-old final. This one by the thoroughbred Rosier out of a Carew Cronin Wood, Home Rule, who was another Irish stallion, and back then to the thoroughbred stallion Golden Bash. So this is number 9. Next we have number 10. 10 qualified at Ennis Diamond Show. This city is by the thoroughbreds, the traditional sport horse stallion, CC Captain Cruise. CC Captain Cruise by Captain Clover. Captain Clover stood, many years ago now, back with the Slattery family in Claremorris, by Clover Hill, out of the thoroughbred Dam Marina. CC Captain Cruise out of the Cruising Dam. The dam of this one, Lady Allison, is by Pacino. Pacino, another son of Diamante Semele. And of course, many of us will remember him jumping on the winning Aga Khan team back in 2012 with Clem McMahon. So this one, a combination of the traditional lines of CC Captain Cruise, going back then to Pacino, one more generation back to Cavalier Royale. Number 10. Next we have number 11. And a little game of snap here, because this one also qualified at Ennis Diamond Show and is the second that we see in our lineup by CC Captain Cruise. I just mentioned Captain Cruise by Captain Clover out of a Cruising Dam. So we'll look at his dam, which is Brophy's Queen. Brophy's Queen by King's Master, going back then to Greed, back to Skyboy. So some Carlo and Wexford bloodline seen in the bloodlines of Brophy's Queen. The dam of this gelding here by CC Captain Cruise. Number 11. And this is by the Mecklenburger Contico by Chaco Blue. Chaco Blue, of course, one of the most famous show jumping sires at the moment. Sires such top 160-metre horses as Explosion W. He's by Chamberton, sire of Laura Krauts Cedric. And then the dam of this one, MPS Aziza, is by Russell. Russell, who stood here in Ireland for several years after his competition career with Nick Skelton. So this is number 13, qualified at Westport Show. This one by the Chaco Blue Stallion Contico. This one is by I'm Not Afraid Fortuna. Show jumps with Limo Mara. I'm Not Afraid Fortuna by Dallas CDL. Going back to R. Douglas. R. Douglas, another KWPN stallion based in Ireland for a number of years. And sire of Katie Dinan's good 160-metre horse, W. Douglas. Down at this one, Greenlandstown move over. But she's the second of the OBS quality mares we see represented here in our lineup. She's by OBS quality. Going back to Cobra's Diamond Boy. And back one more generation to cruising. It's interesting how we're still seeing the Cavaliers, the Cruisings, the Clover Heralds still coming through many generations later in the breeding of our 3-year-olds here this afternoon in Bannow. This is number 21, qualified at Armagh Show. Next we have number 20 qualified at Cork Summer Show. It's Chestnut Gelding. It's by Innisfree the Holy Grail. Innisfree the Holy Grail by Holy Cross. Going back to Ginger Dick. And down at this one is Bob McCoola Colleen. And she's by Clube Bouncer. Clube Bouncer by Grange Bouncer. Stood here in County Wexford with the late Jack Lambert. And then going back to Delete Hero. It's the number 20, qualified at Cork. And it's gelding by Innisfree the Holy Grail. After Clube Bouncer and Delete Hero Dan. Two left to go. Another the qualified at Ballyfoyle Show. Next gelding is by the Belgian Warmblood Dignified Van Zorklift. And with Morris Cousins. Dignified by Clinton. But down with this one is Saga's Imp. So no prizes for guessing she's a Master Imp daughter. Then going back to Pride of Sean Lara. And back to another Irish draft stallion in Solo Head. So this is number 29, qualified at Ballyfoyle. This one by Dignified Van Zorklift. As a Master Imp, Pride of Sean Lara, and Solo Head Dan. Number 7. Number 7, qualified at Athenry Show. This Bay filly is by Hard Rock Z. Hard Rock Z by Heartbreaker. Going back to Cartago. Hard Rock Z himself competed at the Pan American Games with Emmanuel Andrade. And down this one again we see more continental lines in Mermasaur. Or down Castlegate Sweet Emotion by Mermasaur, who goes back to Burgraff. Back to the Holsteiner Stallion Limerick. And then back to the Thoroughbred Stallion Vasco. So number 7, qualified at Athenry Show. And it's filly by the Pan American Games horse Hard Rock Z. Alpha Mermasaur, Limerick and Vasco Dan. Congratulations, number 22, Sharon Kelly. Sharon wins here with Anamore Flow Pressure. This one by for Kinmar Hero Z. Bred by Aoife Helion. Aoife, close again, Breeder's Prize. So Sharon Kelly, her show horses. Thanks. French recognized lady, of course, not only reserve champion here, but takes the prize for the top place filly.
Champion All Ireland 3-year-old filly. This filly has won. She was champion All Ireland as a yearling, champion as a 2-year-old. Now she's champion as a 3-year-old. She was first in battle model as a yearling. She was first in battle model as a 2-year-old. So hitting for Dublin for the big one, and hopefully that we can pull it off with this great lady here shown today, because unfortunately Tiernan Gill used to be shown her for me, but Tiernan had a small operation and he's out of action for a few months. But this lady stepped in and showed no better lady to show her. So we're delighted. My good friend from Clare, brother, Jerry, she's out of a Lux mare by Shellis. Shellis stands in Clare as well, and so does the dam. But I brought our siblings. I have a yearling, our full sister to this one, going to Dublin, and I have a 2-year-old gelding. So this mare is a prolific breeder, and with Shellis it seems to click. And the dam of this filly went on herself and won numerous shows as a brood mare, and her grandmother was unbeatable in the ring. She was a big sink hope, Jerry told me. Never beaten in the ring. She was unreal. She was just unreal. And it's the breeding. It's been handed down from generation to generation, and that's what it's about. You know, it's all about breeding, really.
I bought a grand dam of her from a woman in County Clare, Maureen Miskell, and I was just lucky. She bred a few that were lucky enough, and her dam won the All Ireland as a 2-year-old, and still breeding. She's 16-year-old mare, yeah. 16-year-old mare, and she's a cold fall again this year now, off the same horse, Chillis. She's gone and fall again to Chillis again this year, yeah.
Thanks to everyone for giving me the call up to show this beautiful mare today. She really showed herself off very well, so big credit to the crew at home as well, to Susan and Johnny, who do all the work behind the scenes. I just turned up in the day today to lead her up, so it's all down to the team as well.
Last year he won the 2-year-old in Healy. He's been likely shown this year, winning 2 of his classes. The plan for him is Dublin. He's going in the lightweight class. His half-brother, won here last year. A 4-year-old Anik Moore Dunkirk. His plan will be for the middleweight in Dublin, ridden. 2 beautiful horses, 2 very different horses. I'm very lucky to have them both in my yard for owner Sharon Kelly. Lovely to work with, easy, and obviously this is a very hard championship to win. So to win it 2 years in a row is phenomenal, and we're absolutely thrilled. I had him last year to show, and he wintered with me. We didn't do Balmoral because we don't like to push the horses too much, and we just took him out, got him qualified, and did another show with him.
Absolutely delighted, yes. 2 brothers. His brother won it last year, and we came back this year for it, and delighted to have taken it again this year. I had 3 actually out of the same dam. Aoife Hillian is the breeder down near Tattersalls there, and I bought the 6-year-old, he's now 6, he's jumping in Italy at the minute. I bought him as a foal, and I produced him up until about a 3-year-old, and then I really liked what I was seeing, so I went and I bought the 4-year-old now, and then this guy here as well, and that's the last one out of the mare. So the dam is HHS Flow Echo. She's by Clover Echo, and the grand dam actually is a very famous mare that Marion Hughes rode called Flojo. So very great pedigree. She's a brother. They have a brother jumping in Spain as well. He's up to about 150 now, I think. Sold him as a 4-year-old. No, he didn't show. He did a wee bit of loose jumping, and then I got him under saddle, and he was the first show he went to. Actually, he was sold. And there's quite a few sort of 160s in the dam side as well. So it's a real nice pedigree. And his 4-year-old, his brother now, he's under saddle now. He's won a couple of shows as well, but he did a bit of jumping at the start of the season, and he loves it too. So yes, they're a very nice family. Well, I sort of buy them as foals and produce them 2, 3, 4-year-olds, and just sell. You know, whenever if I've got a good customer, I'll sell, or I'll produce them further if need be, and yeah, just enjoy them. Both brothers are going to Dublin this year again. Yes, so he took Supreme Champion in Enniskillen. That was his first show under saddle under Shirley Hurst, and that was a great day too.